Welcome back to Senior Support on YourTV. We're talking to Deputy Chief Mike Slatter. Mike is with the Hastings-Quinte Paramedic Services. And first part of the show, we learned a whole lot about what happens when you dial 911, and we also learned that these paramedics are very highly trained. And so that brings us to our next topic, which is a fairly new program. It's getting new eyes on it, at least, the Paramedicine Program, and that's being offered by your organization. That's fairly new, this intensive view and focus, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, we've been involved a little bit since 2015 with some pilot projects, and just over the last 2 years, we've received some funding through the Ministry of Long-Term Care to expand a community paramedic program.
Yeah, so the community paramedic program then is not rushing out when 911 is called. This is supporting people who are living in the community in ways that some of the other organizations that provide community support are really not able to do. So just give us the short version of the paramedicine program, Mike, and what the goal is.
The goal is to help people live safely in their homes. The funding comes from the Ministry of Long-Term Care, so it was designed to help stabilize the long-term care wait list.
Right. So what it is if a person is in the community and they're on the waiting list to go into a long-term care home, obviously if they've been assessed and they need a long-term care home, they need additional services. There's both Shelley's agency, Community Care for South Hastings, and my agency, Prince Edward Community Care, support people to live at home. We provide Meals on Wheels, transportation, and a whole broad range of services that support people to live at home. But there are things that our volunteers and staff can't do that community paramedics can do, and for people that are high need. So I would let's just talk about the eligibility for the community paramedicine program, Mike. What's the kind of thing that needs a person has to have in order to be eligible for it?
Yeah, so mostly, like I said, it's about the long-term care wait list. So if you're on the long-term care wait list or eligible to be, those are kind of a couple of criteria. We also do look at frequent callers to 911 to see if there's other services we can provide to those people who are calling 911 frequently. What is the reason why? So looking at that. So if you have, say more than three 911 calls in about a 6-month period, we try to start looking at what resources we can help you with.
Mm-hmm. And people might be calling because they're falling, or because they're or any range of things, and maybe you could find a way to help them with those things.
Exactly. So sometimes it's frequent falls, in which case, how can we, as the community paramedic, help the person, what supports they need? They're a system navigator. The community paramedics are very good at navigating the system and getting other supports, reaching out to other support services to help people, and including working with the family physicians if a person has one.
Right. I think that there are a lot of players in the community, a lot of agencies that are supporting people to live at home. Home care, or as it's now called, home and community care support services, but people call it home care. These are the people that send in personal support workers, nursing, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, social work, There's also the community support services. As I said, that's what Shelley and I do in our agencies, community care agencies, and there's community care agency in Quinte West. There's one in Central Hastings. There's one in North Hastings as well. So there's full coverage for community support services, for Meals and Wheels and transportation, that kind of thing. So the community paramedicine program offers additional support and receives referrals then from family physicians. My agency receives referrals as well from family physicians, because we don't, there are certain things we do that others don't. And I know Shelley does as well. So what I'm just trying to get at here, Mike, what is it that the community paramedicine program does that, and where do you get your referrals? What is it that you do that's not the same as home care community support services? And when and where did these referrals come from?
Yeah, so with referrals, we receive referrals from home and community care support services. We also receive a number of referrals from the hospital when they're looking to discharge patients. A lot of what we do is we're a gap. As we know, there are services that we all have our human resource issues right now. So we can help provide care for the person to live safely in their home while maybe some services are being set up. Sometimes we continue to help. Other times we'll discharge a person from our program once home and community care services can be put in place, knowing that the person has those services in place. So we do provide a wide variety of services, but we also look to get more supports in place as well.